This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen The Toxic Avenger, a very offbeat horror comedy from directors Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Herz, made back in 1984. It follows Melvin, the laughingstock of a local health club out in Tromaville, the toxic chemical capital of the world. While he manages to roll with the punches, a particularly cruel prank sees him chased around the building and sent flying out a window into a conveniently parked truck with open containers of toxic waste. He survives, gaining superhuman strength in the process, but is also horribly disfigured. Soon after, Tromaville begins to report a mysterious figure patrolling the streets at night, clearing the city of crime and sending the underworld into a panic. Hailed as a hero, the community rallies around this stranger that they call the Toxic Avenger, or Toxie for short. As you might guess, the horror aspects take a bit of a backseat to the comedy. For a while, there's actually more sci-fi action than anything truly scary. The story is basically just having as much fun with its concept as it can, with an unlikely hero setting out against local forces of evil and taking them down in extremely gruesome and gory manners. Half of the fun is in these action scenes alone, with the fights between Toxie and random gang members starting off as basic fistfights until somebody loses an arm, at which point things get really crazy. There are even a few points where there is no fighting and Toxie just goes right in for the kill, with each new method of death ramping up over time. These are the closest thing to horror, tampered down almost immediately when the movie gets back to praising Toxie as a local hero, even giving him a romantic storyline. The characters of the film are naturally exaggerated, with the movie almost immediately setting up the kind of people that the villains will be with the first few lines of dialogue. It makes it easier to cheer for their inevitable deaths, the same way that the people of Tromaville do. The best way to summarize all of this, I suppose, is that the story is a romp, setting up a weird world and the basic premise for Toxie's existence as quickly as possible, then diving right into the meat of the film's reason for existing, an irradiated monster killing a bunch of jerks. The production efforts at hand are what make this a reality, especially in makeup and effects. The whole film is effectively a showcase of the best that can be done with relatively little, I assume, putting much of its budget into making Toxie look realistic and making the gore look grody. It works out excessively well, making use of the actual environment during these kills to add a layer of dark humor, with the deaths being treated irreverently at times as well. Speaking of environments, many of the locations are given a somewhat nice and clean-cut look that clashes with the incoming grossness. On the technical side of things, camera work leans more towards framing everything for the sake of visual gags, which again works out well, being that this movie is a comedy after all. Just about everything is geared towards either having a laugh or relishing in the gore, and the filmmakers knew that this would be all that an audience might want to see. It's all there for the absolute fun, and probably not only that, but also to see just how much they could get away with in a movie. Personally, I'd only ask if they could have done more, because I want more. The Toxic Avenger, Lloyd Kaufman, Michael Herz, 1984. 4 stars. I'd say it's worth seeing for yourself. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I feel like I didn't go into enough detail about the gore effects. I'm gonna say that's a good thing. mostly because there's something you really ought to see for yourself.